virus is not even the worst disease around. Today, we have at least 2 billion people infected with tuberculosis and hundreds of millions of cases of diseases like dengue, malaria, sexually transmitted diseases. For each one of those diseases, this represents at least 1 million people infected every single day. Without a timely diagnostic, the risk of an infection outbreak increases significantly. And in UNIMA, we work to solve the problem, lack of access to a timely diagnostic for almost 3 billion people living in emerging and developing countries. Current diagnostic technologies are very precise and can detect almost any disease known. But the problem is that they require specialized equipment, labs, and technicians, which are very scarce in these countries. So, to solve this problem, we developed FIND. FIND is a fast and low-cost diagnostic and disease surveillance technology. FIND allows anyone, even those with no medical training, to diagnose a disease directly at the point of care without using lab equipment, with results in 15 minutes and at $1 per test. Using FIND is actually quite simple. For a blood test, for example, you take a drop of blood from a finger prick, you put it in a paper microfluidic device, the size of a card, you wait 10 minutes for a reaction to occur, and then you take a picture with an app in your smartphone, and this will give you the result in your screen in around 5 seconds. This result, along with contextual information like geolocation, date, and time, is sent to a cloud server and is used for real-time disease surveillance, which is very important for governments, healthcare organizations, and even pharma companies to create better strategies or products to stop disease outbreaks and prevent pandemics. Our technology uses shark antibodies that we modify using genetic engineering to catch disease biomarkers on blood, urine, or saliva samples. We print these shark antibodies on paper microfluidic devices, and when they get in contact with the biomarkers on the patient sample, they generate this visual reaction. And the visual reaction is evaluated in the smartphone app by using image analysis processes and artificial intelligence algorithms to generate a very accurate result. We are targeting 4 different market segments. Global health, where users are international health organizations like Doctors Without Borders or the Red Cross. Public health, where users are governments. Private health, where users are pharmaceutical companies, insurance companies. And the animal health market, where users are livestock producers. We created a business model we call Diagnostic Platform as a Service. Here we work with these large users like pharma companies and governments, and we develop tailored diagnostic tests over our technology platform to solve specific challenges that they have in their operations in disease diagnostics. So we design, develop, validate, and manufacture these tests. We sell the tests directly to those users, and the revenues come from selling these devices. In the next stage, we also plan to monetize on access to real-time analytics over disease outbreaks for healthcare professionals. We are a second-time founder team. In our previous startup, we developed and launched a testing for 10 countries for animal health, so we have proven experience taking a product from the lab to the market. Our first test for the development of tuberculosis we will launch in next quarter. Right now, we are piloting in 7 countries in Latin America, Africa, and Southeast Asia, and we have contract for almost 7 million tests per year. And we are developing new tests for diseases like dengue, Zika, anemia, diabetes, and animal health diseases. In UNIMA, we have a very clear mission: to secure a timely diagnostic for everyone, regardless of where you live or your ability to pay.
We're asking you in English, right?
Yes, please.
So 3 quick questions. This is all your technology?
Well, the shark antibodies were developed by CISESA, it's a Conacit Center. We have the exclusive license for diagnostics worldwide. And we developed the rest of the technology, which is paper diagnostics, how to use the dose in paper diagnostics with shark antibodies.
And that's patented, or
yeah.
The process of being patented.
Yes.
And the third question is, where are you in preclinical? You're in preclinicals?
No,
you're already approved by FDA?
We have already been approved by COFEPRIS, and we are in the process of being approved by CE Mark in Paraguay, in Indonesia, Zimbabwe, and that's it.
FDA, no?
No, we are not going to
CE?
Yes, we are in processing CE. We hope that maybe in a month and a half.
I definitely have a question.
Yeah.
So the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, they're looking for exactly what you guys are doing,
Yeah.
but I don't know how far ahead they are. And my guess is you're either gonna be in direct competition with them, or they're gonna invest with you guys. Have you thought about that?
Yes, actually we were funded by a program funded by the Gates Foundation, actually in Canada and USA. So we already are in
Because if
relation
not,
with
you're in
them.
competition with them.
Yeah. But we need a little bit more traction because they invest through their program-related investment area. So they are doing actually equity investments. So
Okay.
maybe in the next years they could be on board.
Okay, and you guys are, you actually have to manufacture something,
Yeah.
I'm guessing, is that already being done?
Yes. Yeah, we actually have we are not doing the manufacturing right now because it requires a lot of money to actually have a plan for doing this. So we have a contract with a company here in Mexico and Mexico City and another one in Spain.
That's great, congratulations.
Is there any question? How many diseases could you diagnose with?
Okay, right now, which already went through clinical trials, is tuberculosis, HIV, and we are developing, again, I think I mentioned this, for dengue, Zika, anemia, diabetes, and 3 animal health diseases.
Or it could be more.
No, yes, it could be any infections, most of chronic diseases, diseases in animal healthcare, in crop plantation, for example, and even something that are not even diagnostic, like water quality and stuff like that.
You need to develop the card with the.
Yes, actually the difficult part is not the paper card, but the antibodies. So we do a lot of genetic engineering to get those antibodies ready to catch the biomarker, and then it's a little bit of design of the card. Machine learning on the smartphone app with real sample from patients, then training the neural network algorithm, and that's it.
So it's one card for what disease?
It depends on the design. So, for example, we have a test for tuberculosis, another one for TB, HIV, another one for 4 different cell varieties of dengue, etc. So it depends what the client needs. It's tailored.
You've mentioned a lot of beautiful words and tendencies. I think you've mentioned all of them. Yeah, it's the machine learning, big data.
Well, I don't do fintech, so.
But on the other hand, you put a picture of obviously African kids,
Oh, okay, yeah.
which means that you are planning on going global with this.
Yeah, we are global.
But you have competition.
Yes.
So I would like to know what the differentiation is with the competition.
Okay, so let's see.
The fact that you patented on paper.
Yeah. So let's see. Competition comes in 2 ways. So one is traditional clinical diagnostics, something that you go to the lab, take the sample, you get the result, and the other is point of care diagnostic, which is our market segment. So traditional diagnostic, these very big companies like Becton Dickinson and Alere, etc. So it's indirect. They're big companies with billions per year in sales. The direct competition will be other startups like us. This is like new technology. Point of care diagnostics is not that old, maybe like 10 years old. And there are many startups working on different kinds of technology. The thing is, most of these startups are developing tests directed, for example, for developed countries, the US, Europe, Japan, etc. For things like pregnancy, diabetes, etc. Something like
You don't consider a big pharma your direct competition?
No, big pharma are not interested in diagnostics as a market, but as a tool. Because if you see the
That's
products,
even worse, man. They're going to give it away.
no, actually, that's why they are the perfect partner for us. Because, for example, if you have a product portfolio for diabetes, you are not interested in developing a test for diabetes.
Okay.
So we develop the test for you, we sell it, and you use it.
Okay.
Just very good with the background of the team.
Okay, so four co-founders, all of us were technical at the beginning, but since our last startup, we do different things. I'm a technical, but I have been working on the business side since the last startup. I'm a chemical engineer, have 2 PhDs, economic development, biotech. Our chief scientific officer, also a PhD in biotech. Laura, our chief product officer, she's mostly towards marketing, sales, product. And Rodrigo is our chief technology officer. He was chemical engineer and now went through the software part.
I'm sorry, can I have one more quick question?
Yeah.
How can you prove the accuracy of your tests?
You compare it to standardized golden standard. For example, if you are going to test for influenza, we developed test for influenza, we compare the result with a current test used for,
Have you already done this?
Yes.
So like you can prove the accuracy?
Yeah, normally the process, you always develop the test, you validate against a reference test, so you have the sensitivity and accuracy of the test, and you go to clinical trials. So it's, you have to do that.
You're a PhD in biotechnology?
Yeah, in economic development and all the way.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Okay.
Thank you, time's over.
Okay,
Thank you so much. Please, could you leave that
Yeah.
room? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pues ya, gracias.
You ready?
Listo.
Okay.
Listo, listo.
Okay, next target to pitch is if bot. Here with us is Charlie. Charlie, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay,
Ready.
let's get in time in 1, 2, go.
Hi, I'm Charlie from CK Mexico. We're here to present our project AidBot. I always like to start a pitch talking about Kevin, a young, happy entrepreneur that he just started his business 10 months ago. Unfortunately, today, he had to tell his mom that he lost all the savings of the family because he had to shut down his business. This is a story of Kevin and other thousands, millions of entrepreneurs all over the world and all over Latin America. In fact, there's an alarming statistic that says that 80% of SMEs exit the market within the first 18 months of operation. Why does this happen? Well, it has to do with the poor financial management, no business planning, of course there is no marketing and sales strategy, and a lack of business and entrepreneurial skills. In the best of the cases, they do have access to traditional solutions, but that don't really help them professionalize their businesses. That's why we created AidBot, the first business advisor in the whole world. Now imagine for a moment that you could have someone guiding you, coaching you 24/7, helping you maybe calculate your costs, work with your business model, find out the profitability of your business, And imagine you could have someone, in a few words, help you professionalize your business and reduce the risk of failure. And add to that fact that it could be as easy as chatting with him. Well, that's what IFBot does. It works through a web platform where an entrepreneur or businessman can start interacting, choosing what he's going to start working with this business advisor. He's going to have a very friendly interaction. During this interaction, the business advisor is going to make a very smart, intelligent analysis, and at the end, he's going to give a very smart report with a series of recommendations that are going to help SMEs take better decisions and reduce the risk of failure. How does a business model work? It works through subscriptions that SMEs or entrepreneurs pay monthly or annually. It works B2C or B2B as well. We want to make it so affordable that entrepreneurs would just have to give up to a medium-sized pizza every month or 3 of their favorite coffees. It's important to mention that we have a huge potential market if we consider that there's 7 billion people. From those, there's 400 million that are entrepreneurs. 1 of 18 own their own businesses. We've had important visibility in the last years, recognized by important media like Fractal with Televisa and Financiero. We've been recognized by the magazine Entrepreneur, which recently won a competition with Scotiabank and Emerge America. In March, we're pitching in Miami and competing against 100 of the most innovative startups all over Latin America. Next month, we have access to the Fit for Partnership with Germany program. And next week, we're attending our pitch with Smart Capital in Colombia. We have a very strong team with knowledge in data analysis, artificial intelligence, more than 10 years of experience working with small businesses and entrepreneurs, with national and international studies and certifications. What we want to do is to raise capital, improve our business model, make our business advisor more intelligent, work with big data. We want to become the eyes and brain of entrepreneurs all over the world. We want to reach the European, Asian, and South American market, of course. And in a few words, we want to become the pain reliever for entrepreneurs and SMEs, help them create, establish, and maintain more successful businesses all over the world. Thank you.
So, first question.
Yes.
How much traction do you have?
Today we have 50,000 active users.
Paying active users.
Active users. A huge volume of those 50,000, we have obtained them through B2B sales.
Who do you sell it to? That's a B2B sale.
Like for example, we're about to close an important, maybe one of the most important projects with Bancoppel, because the idea is that they're going to buy a huge volume of subscriptions, and they're going to give this tool to the people that they give the loans to. They want to use this tool like a way to add more value to the clients, not just offer them a loan, but give them a personal consultant that's going to help them professionalize their business, and at the same time, it's going to help them reduce the risk of not paying this.
So how much revenue did you generate last year?
It's around $40,000 last year.
And how?
40,000, yeah.
How much time or interaction are these companies actually, are they using it the way that they should be using it?
That's a very frequent question. We could say, following our statistics, that they use it between 4 to 5 times every month.
And how much let's say I use it, how much input do I need to have accurate output?
Something that is very important with this product is that it works in a very friendly way. It's like a friend-to-friend conversation. Even if you don't understand a term, a financial term, you can have access to what it means. So you just need to have very basic information. In this case, let's say financial information. But another thing that this tool does is it makes the entrepreneur and the company aware of the information that they need to generate. Because of course there's lots of times that they don't have the information that the business advisor is asking them. So it works in different ways. You provide information, it starts analyzing it, and
So quick question, the numbers, for some reason, maybe I misunderstood.
yeah,
You have 50,000 active users,
yes,
which means SMBs, right?
yes, SMEs.
Each of them pays about 100 pesos a month, if I calculated the price
Yes.
of coffees or pizza, no? Maybe
Yes.
a little more.
Yes, exactly.
So that would be 5 million pesos a month of revenue.
We have
A
this
month.
15,000 users from when we started this project. This project has 3-4 years. Yeah, 3-4 years. So that's why I said that in the last year our revenue was approximately $40,000.
Which is 800,000 pesos, which is the equivalent,
800,000 pesos, yes.
which would be the equivalent of,
$40,000 US
Yes.
a month, right?
no, but a
A
month,
year.
no.
No, a year, in the whole year.
$3,000 a month.
I see where you're trying to head at. You're saying like that implies that it's like 8,000.
No,
Companies, active.
no, because that would be revenue per month, not per year.
Oh, yeah.
So then you have to split that in
Yeah,
12.
in 12.
So we're talking about 600.
No, I think maybe the confusion is that not the 15,000 of users active today are still paying. Maybe that's the confusion. Yeah, they're not paying. Yeah. I think that because you make numbers going to be way much more. Yeah.
So they paid.
Yes, exactly. They have paid in the last 2-3 years.
So that's not active, right? That's like historical users.
Uh,
Active is typically measured on the latest period, like a month or so. Depends
Yeah.
on the metric of each company.
Yeah, you're right. The thing is that in the first 2 years, instead of having the annual license, they have it for life. When they pay a certain amount, they had it for life. And we changed the business model like a year and a half ago.
Okay. And so in terms of competition, like I would think that you have competition in many ways, right? There are free solutions like either apps or maybe imperfect, maybe not as good, but I would see people trying to get advice on this kind of decisions, either through tutorials, through an app. What do you think about this?
I have, maybe you're not going to agree with the question because that's a very common question we get. We have indirect competition. We use even principles of artificial intelligence, decision tree programming, and what differs a lot from our product is that it gives a really accurate, really friendly, really intelligent interpretation of the information that you provide to him. At the end, it gives you a series of recommendation suggestions depending on the information you provide. And until the moment, we spent a whole year with surveillance technology looking for competition, but until now, we haven't found someone that provides all the tools that our business advisor does. He has, within the platform, we have 30 different models that you can work with him. We've been compared with like a way of competition with business planners. This is not a business planner, it goes beyond a business planner. Its strength, it's in the finances management of a company. That's why we even have 3 stages for entrepreneur. The entrepreneur that has a business idea, we have it for companies that are already operating, that have 2-3 years of operation, and we have a model for companies that are trying to scale and improve their finances, even work with their pitch, work with their financial teaser, and different things. So yeah, I could dare to say that there's no similar competition in the market. That's what we've been recognized in the last years from national and international media.
Do you know why fast users drop the service?
Yeah. I think it has to do, like for example, it gets to the point that you don't use, for example, you don't create a budget every day or every week. I think what we see is that there's a moment that once our business advisor has helped SMEs and entrepreneurs improve and professional key business factors, there's a moment that they start using it with less frequency. with less frequency until the moment that they drop out and don't use it, and then suddenly they use it again after a month or 2 months. But another statistic says that they use it from 4 months to 7 months, and from the 6-7 months they start stopping using it. But we strongly believe that it has to do that it has accomplished the mission that the business advisor has, helping them professionalize their business.
Okay, thank you so much. Time for that.
Thank you.
Okay, next startup to beat is Fermi. Under his key results. Are you ready?
Yes.
Cool. Well, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Hi, my name is Andre Merino. I am co-founder of Thermi. Thermi is a technological company worried about health women. Breast cancer is the death list for Mexican women and worldwide. Every 15 seconds, a woman in the world is diagnosed. And 1 in 7 women we know will have at some stage of their life. But the most worried part about this is 75% of them will have and will know too late. Why? Well, because for the lack of equipment, for the high price of the units, and believe it or not, because for the fear about the standard techniques. With Thermi, we can avoid this. Through analyze thermal and heat, we developed Thermi. Thermi is an intelligent study to detect of breast cancer and early detection. And with thermal images and artificial analysis, we developed Thermi. Okay, how does it work? First, a complete setup integrated by a thermal camera, computer, and spin reference. Second, the image acquisition assisted by software. Then, an AI analysis where we found thermal anomalies with risk of breast cancer. And finally, this information is validated through our specialists and delivered to the patient. Thermi offers great advantages. For example, it works for women over 20 years old, is painless and non-invasive, radiation-free. It means 100% safe. Furthermore, early detection equals more life saved. There are companies in US, in India, and even in Mexico. However, We have validated our artificial intelligence algorithm to reach the highest sensitivity and accuracy at a lower cost. We reach our clients through direct sales or licensing of our system, and also offer it as software as a service, charging per study. The market is huge. Just in Mexico, 42 million women require at least one study per year, for which 8,400 thermi devices are needed. Behind thermi, there are a team over 20 engineers, physicians, nurses, developers, designers, fully committed and passionate with this cause. Currently, we have a clinic protocol running in the Breast Cancer Foundation, one of the most important breast cancer clinics in Latin America. There, Thermi has applied in over 3,000 women free of charge, and finding 150 positive cases confirmed by biopsy. We achieved an F1 score of 95%. We have obtained more than $200,000, and we consolidate key partnerships with these institutions. Our milestones: first, obtain ISO certification, patent, and national regulation. Second, international regulation and operation in market selected. And third, the license of our technology and the manufacture. After our financial analysis, we need $250,000 to start our first system. Sadly, in the time I have spoken, 6 women died due to late detection of breast cancer. In the rest of this year, will be more than 600,000 women. Please help Thermi to be part of the solution. Save the day. Let's use Thermi. Thank you very much.
Is there any question?
Definitely. You mentioned the competition.
Yes.
So how do you differentiate yourself? Is it only based upon the algorithm? So you have a better algorithm than your competitors?
Yes.
Or is there another way that you also differentiate your business?
Okay, we use artificial intelligence and it's rather algorithm, of course, at lower cost. But we only have the protocol, the clinic protocol in the best institution of breast cancer, and that allows us to our results, and is the better than other competence.
So regarding that, typically what makes more powerful the prediction of an algorithm is the data pool that you have, right? So what data are you basing your algorithms right now? Only on the cases that you have seen, or you have access to more data?
Excellent question. And we start with a Brazilian database, but we already create ours, and with Mexican women, and it's correct. The best algorithm is with best data, and all of our cases is validated with mammography and biopsy. All these studies were applied with the best standard of clinic standards, and well, we think we have the best database of mammography and breast cancer in the world.
So let me ask you, the thing that worries me with a technology like this is how disruptive it is.
Yeah.
Because I understand that, I mean, it's a better test,
Okay.
but it's still something that you would sell to hospitals, right?
Mhm.
They will do the test. It's not something that a woman can take home and, or will it become that eventually?
Yeah, in the future, near future, yeah, but now it's only in the clinics, because we want to ensure that the study is the most better way to take.
And you sell the machine? And then
Yeah,
you sell consumables for the machine?
yeah. We sell the whole device like this, or also we offer Thermi as a software as a service, charging only per case.
But the device is not yours, like you buy it from a supplier.
Only the thermal camera.
So
We
you-
are partners of the FLIR, the best mark on the world right now, and we develop the whole system with the camera.
Let me just repeat my question. You sell the machine
Yes.
and You sell the consumables, or you sell the machine, or you sell it as a service.
We can sell.
O sea, you have a business model where you sell the machine and consumables.
Yes.
You have that, you already have sold that,
See, yes.
but it's not there.
Well, we put right there, but
I mean, I would imagine that would be your biggest revenue generator, no? Recurring too.
Yeah, because upfront sales are non-recurring. And the other question, going back to what Marcus was mentioning, for example, in the case of IVA, I think the key innovation there is in the model, right? Because it's a direct to consumer in a sense, right?
First one.
Because in that regard, women can have like the test at home. So that makes a key differentiation because there was nothing like that before.
Yeah, not depend on when you decide to do the test.
Exactly.
Because that's the problem, no?
Yeah, exactly. You have to, as a woman, if you are into these things, you have to set a date every month and check your boobs every month at the same date because you have different types of hormones and that shit. So that would be.
yes, of course. In fact, there was our first idea, but the technological of the camera, the technology of the camera are not enough to this purpose. Is that why we?
But in the future, you can do that.
Yes.
This is crucial.
How future?
Actually, we
Indian
have.
future or
Well,
future?
I don't know.
Like Mexican future?
You're only waiting for,
One
the
minute.
lenses to get there? That's the problem?
Yeah. Actually, we have cameras to plug in on your smartphone, but the camera isn't enough to sensitivity.
So when do you estimate it will be enough?
I wish in 2 or 3 years.
Oh, that's not that bad.
Yes.
Okay, time is over. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
O sea, sí puede ser eso.
Okay. Okay, next part to pitch is the anchor. Anna is here with us. Anna, are you ready?
I'm ready. Cool. Thank you.
So, start in 3, 2, 1.
Masa will highly That means good afternoon in Arabic. Thank you for this great opportunity. My name is Ana Huasque, and I'm from Dianco, Mexico. And in Dianco, we offer a real solution to 3 global problems, consequence of the irreversible climate change. The first one is the change in the currents of the ocean, which is bringing sargassum into the Caribbean shores. Also, the extensive use of chemical fertilizers, which is nourishing the sargassum. And we have this data that supports our evidence. No? In 2011, we received only 18 tons of sargassum. And in the last 6 months of last year, the NASA and the University of South Florida, which are spearheading the process of monitoring the sargassum, accounted for 20 million thousands of tons of sargassum. So it is here, it won't stop arriving, and we have to do something with it to avoid more problems. The second problem that we cover is that we avoid the cutting down of trees to produce cellulose. Cellulose is used by more than 20 industries around the world, not only the paper industry. And in Mexico, we currently don't produce any cellulose, so we import all of it from different countries. And finally, production of organic fertilizer versus the chemical one to substitute it, which is now a global need, urgent need, and trend. If only we could avoid all this sargassum being eroded in the ecosystem of the Caribbean area, and we could produce cellulose and avoid cutting down trees, it would be a dream, no? And even more if we could produce organic fertilizers at even lower prices. And this is precisely what Dianco is about. This is our project. And we will use the sargassum as a raw material to produce organic fertilizer and to produce cellulose. The process, the project is about establishing the first process plant in Cancun. We already have a location to process up to 6 tons per day. That's up to 150,000 tons per year. It's even more than what is being collected right now. And in 5 years, to have sales of up to 119 million and profits of 60 million. We are going to conclude the development also for the production of biofertilizer and of bioplastic, which is going to be in process. We're going to have a lab in the plant to keep on with the research and development of this. We're going to establish 2 more processing plants in the Caribbean area. And we're going to replicate the model in more than 15 countries affected in the Caribbean. So far, we have the company established under the SAPI model in Mexico. We have the patents for the production of cellulose and of fertilizer. We have proven efficiency under notary supervision for the main representative crops. We have the processing plant ready. We have research, engineering, plans, everything developed. Customers, governments, everybody waiting for us just to be there. It's innovative, scalable, replicable, and we offer return of investment in year 2, stock options, and 30% of the profits in the only company that produces cellulose from sargassum in the world, and the only one that produces organic fertilizer at industrial levels in Latin America. This will always be a good project, unfortunately, because of climate change. Thank you very much.
Okay, is there any question?
So you're requesting an investment,
Yes,
but you didn't say how much?
we are requesting $2.5 million US dollars.
Against 30% of the profits,
Exactly.
eternal profits,
Sorry?
forever.
Exactly. Forever. It's a very profitable business.
And what happens if current changes? It kind of depends on supply, and what happens if supply doesn't show up to the shore?
Okay, this is a question we've been asked so many times. Yes, you're right. The trends show that as climate change increases, the density of water has been changing because of the melting of the glaciers. Now, this has made the current slower, and it's becoming slower and slower every time. So what used to flow faster before, now flows slower, and that keeps all the nutrients from the fertilizers in the same area. That's why we have seen an increase. And this is data supported by NASA, by many other.
But I would be curious to know how close does the processing plant need to be to where the supply is? So if the currents change a little, is it feasible to get it to one of the plants, or do you have to build another plant?
No, the plant is going to be right by next to the shore. No, I mean in the area of the Caribbean Maya, of the Caribbean Riviera, and sargassum can be collected either at the sea, or it can be the sargassum that reaches the shore.
It can be stored
It can be stored.
for months?
Exactly. We can process it even if it is dry
Because
or if it
you
is
said
wet.
that there is, I'm gonna try to quote your number.
Okay.
You said 20,000 million tons. That's what you said.
That's what the NASA estimated for the belt of sargassum for last year.
So if she can gather it, she can have that forever.
Why?
Even if it's just 1 year,
I mean, that would be amazing. Sorry.
right?
What would be what is it that you guys do differently to process it? That, for example, I don't know anything about this. What would stop me from saying, I'll just build a processing plant?
Sorry,
So
I don't get
guess I'm
exactly
saying,
the
what
question.
would, if we just wanted, we don't know anything about your business, but what if we just wanted to build a processing plant to process it?
Okay.
What is it that you guys do differently? Is there a process that's different?
Yes.
Or is it,
The process is starting the process of patenting today. Yes, we're going to own that process as well. That's why it's going to be replicable. Yes.
Which other products you have?
Right now, we only have fertilizer, the organic fertilizer, but with the lab that we're going to have there and the extra investment that we get later, we are going to continue producing the cellulose, and also we're going the research for bioplastic as well.
Let me ask you just a completely
Sure.
different question. Imagine that DuPont or 3M want to buy you in 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
They give you $1 billion for this.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you would sell it.
Of course.
But what would I get? Because I'm getting revenues and I don't have ownership of the company.
Well, that would have to be analyzed at the moment. I mean,
I mean, you're willing to give the revenues and the shares in case it's sold.
Yes, of course. I get your point, no? However, I mean, all those little what if, those would be analyzed in the moment. And we're happy to, I mean.
Well, if this is as big as you think it is, you should be asking that to yourself now.
Okay, I know.
How do you collect the sargassum?
We don't collect it.
So,
We don't collect it because right now the Navy is collecting it. The government is collecting it, the hotels are collecting it, civil society is collecting it, and everybody wants to get rid of all the sargassum that reaches the shore, no? The beach, the actual beach.
okay.
So, but they don't have a place where to place it. That's the problem. Right now it's been dumped in the forest, in the jungle.
Like garbage,
Exactly.
you get the garbage to your.
Exactly. There you
but
go.
at some point, if they know you're making money off this, they're gonna wanna sell it to you instead of give it to you.
That has been already considered in our business plan.
Okay?
We are considering an amount to pay for it, to be collected, for the raw material, and to be delivered to the plant.
Okay. And does this show up anywhere else, or is it only, I saw the map,
Mhm.
but does it show up in Indonesia, the same?
No, it's only the Caribbean.
Okay.
Only the Caribbean. So you have Dominican Republic, you know, all the
All
islands.
and all,
Exactly.
okay.
Exactly.
All the hot places.
There's some hot places on the other side of the globe too.
Tell us a little bit more on your team.
Okay. We are around 20 people in the team right now. We have financial experts. We have business people. We have the scientists, of course. We have people devoted to agriculture because we're going to produce the fertilizer. We have engineers for the processing and everything. And well, I'm the head of sustainability there. So
How have you funded it so far?
with, you know, like, okay, we need a little bit over here, and everybody's so involved. We have such a great team, and it's really a passion now that we have invested our own money. You know, I mean, we have run 41 kilometers of the marathon.
How much do you own of the company?
How much do I own? I own, well, under the SAPI scheme, you have the section A and then the section B and everything.
It doesn't matter. It's a percentage of the company.
No, it's not really a percentage of the company. depends on how many people invest. How many people are included in the series?
No, it doesn't.
In the end, you have some stock that is, and you divide that by the whole
No,
stock.
no, I mean, it will dilute.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying, yes.
Yes.
But at this
But
point,
right now.
Yeah.
At this point, I own 3% of the company.
Oh, okay.
why so little?
Why so little? Because I didn't have any more money to actually invest and buy a share.
Okay.
I'm investing my time and my passion.
Who is the biggest stockholder? Is there a founder?
There are three main stockholders.
You?
The CEO, the CFO, and the COO.
Ah, okay, so you got your shares as options.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Makes sense.
time is over. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Muy bien.
Thank you.
Oye, qué bonito proyecto, digo, regardless, ¿no?
Yes.
That's, okay, next chart to page is Funeria. Santiago is here with us. Santiago, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so start in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, I'm Santiago Aleicaf, co-founder of Finerio. The new banking laws will bring enormous opportunities and foster innovation in Mexico and Latin America. The problem is the infrastructure is broken and banks, fintechs, and financial institutions don't know how to take advantage of it. Organizing information is very complicated and the learning curve is long and tedious. Connecting to APIs is hard and the information is not always of good quality for these unique providers, who in this case in the region are expensive or their products are not adapted to the market. Finerio easily solves this. After years of R&D, we developed an end-to-end solution to bring financial institutions to a competitive edge. We already connect to the information and organize it, and we've connected to all the APIs available, and we centralize 92% of the accounts in the market. We are the right provider since this is our specialty. We have pricing adapted to the market, and we have a product that's been tested by Mexican users. Our solution has empowered more than 200,000 users in Mexico to make better financial decisions. As we tested the product with the consumer market, the financial institutions realized the value for them in this same technology. So now we're empowering these institutions by making their customers' data make sense with our 3 principal services: data aggregation, data enrichment, and PFM, which can power many different types of companies like neobanks, traditional banks, retirement funds, credit bureaus, or lending companies.
Finerio offers its technology via a software as a service with a fixed fee and a variable fee per user per month. We're the only competitor focused and based in Latin America, and our product is infinitely superior than our competitors, with more banks supported, a connection that's faster and more stable, and data enrichment that nobody else has in the region. We have an active pipeline without any marketing or sales efforts. We're already talking to one of the top neobanks from Brazil and implementing pilots with the largest bank in Colombia, one of the largest payment processors in Mexico, and the largest retirement fund in Latin America. Our market opportunity is massive, with a $20 billion opportunity in Latin America and a $4 billion opportunity in Mexico alone. We have a clear product roadmap to seize this opportunity. This year we're developing SDKs for our clients to connect easier to our API. We're integrating business accounts, adding AI to our categorization algorithms, and geolocation to transactions to make our data richer. We're also starting our payment initiation product with public services payments. In the next couple of years, we're going to develop loyalty programs around credit score, a business financial management platform, and payments automation. We're also developing KYC and AML capabilities and a marketplace of financial products based on smart triggers. Our path towards revenue and international expansion is also very clear, as we're starting our sales division this year. Our technology has won top awards in Mexico and Latam. We've won over $250,000 in prizes. And we have the team with the commitment and the experience needed to take Finerio to the next level. Thank you.
Thank you, Santiago.
Thank you.
So you sort of made a pivot, right? You
Sort of, yes.
You moved from more being a financial education platform to being more a B2B solution for open banking.
Correct.
So how do you place yourself against, for example, Belgo,
Well,
the other player that I know of that is very active in the Mexican market
yes.
in this space? Because I see that you're targeting both startups and banks, right?
Correct.
So how do you position in terms of product, in terms of target, clients, etc.?
Well, Belgo is our main competitor at the moment. We've been following their case very closely. And actually, a couple of weeks ago, we were connecting to their API to test it out. And we've seen that we have a product that's actually superior. We have more bank supported, our connection is better. We have a security levels that's much higher than what they have. And we know they're targeting big fintechs in Mexico, so we're going after them as well. We're also working with banks and small startups. We compete in terms of the product, we're doing better than them, but we know they're moving fast. We know they're raising money, so our main concern right now is to move fast as well and get to the clients before they can go.
So your product basically aggregates data and analyzes it.
Correct.
What data and what exactly is it helping a bank to improve?
Well, what we do is we connect to the user's bank accounts, we download transactions and balances.
So to find out what they're spending on it, when they're spending on it, and then you
Exactly.
spit out all that data.
With that data, you can know how much they make every month, how much they spend, how much they have in debt, how much they invest, if they have insurance, if they have loans, if they have a mortgage, etc. And banks want to know this information to tailor their products and offerings to each types of user. For instance, BBVA in Spain is actually aggregating accounts from other banks in their mobile application.
Okay.
Let me ask you a quick question. There is a tendency, and I'm sure at least in Mexico it's going to happen, at least for a couple of years, because now they're really looking into your financial information.
Yeah.
So the tendency is going to be to hide the financial information.
People are
I've already been offered
Yeah.
credit cards that don't appear anywhere and stuff like this. I'm sure most of us have. Of course, I haven't taken any of them, but I've been offered. So the question is, what are you going to do when this data is not open?
Well, actually, the open banking laws are stating the opposite. What the open banking laws are saying is that the customer's financial data belongs to the customer, not to their financial institutions. So customers are going to be able to choose whom they can share the data with. This is
And the
already
government.
happened. And yes,
Yeah, that's it.
Won't that have a big impact on you
Sorry?
if I want to share my data and then
Yeah.
none of us want to share our data?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Our B2C platform had rates about 40% of users who signed up in the application linked their bank accounts afterwards. We have the hypothesis that if there's a credit card on the line or a personal loan or a mortgage, even more users are going to be able to work, are going to be willing to share their information in order to get a better interest rate or a higher credit limit or stuff
Or
like that.
couldn't that work the other way around? I mean, it's not a very relevant example, but most people are talking about closing their Facebook because
Yeah.
they don't know if their information is being gathered somewhere. So it's kind of going the opposite way. People are being less willing to share everything about themselves. I don't know if that's the case in your business or not, but
Maybe not, because we have cases of Plaid, for example, in the United States, which was just sold for $5.3 billion to Visa. You have cases in Europe like Tink, MX in the United States, Experian, for instance, in the United States. What they do is they aggregate bank accounts from users and add this information to the credit bureau, well, to the credit score of the user from the bureau to enrich the score, give a better score to the users so they can get better interest rates on their loans.
When you were mentioning all that you do, I was a little bit overwhelmed. It sounded to me like you're doing everything. It's like a magical solution. Do you really think that's a good idea, or should you focus on an area?
Well, we're focusing on one area, which is gathering the data and analyzing it. And from there, you can use it for many
I know you
different
got
purposes.
millions in, but I mean, well, I'm
The
not
thing
sure.
is,
Sounds like a lot.
the same product can be used for many different things at the same time. That's why it sounds like it is a lot. For instance, a lending company can use this to assess the risk of the people who's applying for a loan. A bank can use it for retention purposes, gathering all data from users to convert it to their online banking. A neobank, for instance, a debit card is a money loser. So neobanks, what they're doing right now is they're issuing debit cards to get some information about the customer and then give them a credit card. If you implement a model like this, you can gather information and go straight to the credit card, which actually gives you revenue.
No, but you said you're doing a bunch of other things besides just having data. They want you to use the data for it, I get it, which means you have a plethora of clients, possible clients, huh? But you're doing a bunch of other stuff besides that, yourself, right?
Well, it's not that we do it ourselves, we're gonna be an enabler to do it.
1 minute.
Okay.
For example, a marketplace. It's not gonna be us doing the marketplace, it's gonna be us doing the smart triggers for other companies to use those to create their own marketplaces.
Perfect.
So one question regarding the traction, the B2C was never monetized, right?
No.
So all the monetization comes from the B2B open banking. How many clients do you currently have? How much money are you making monthly?
Well, we just started out. Last year we still were focused on the B2C application. During the year, a lot of banks, fintechs, and small startups approached us looking on ways to collaborate. So we decided to change focus in November, and we launched our API public in December. So right now we're not making real revenue yet. We've already signed 2 pilots.
Okay.
They paid us, 2 banks, one bank from Colombia, one bank from Panama. They paid us for the pilot, but we haven't closed any actual deals yet.
Thank you. Time is up. Time is up.
Muy bien, gracias.
Es que no se ve. Es lo que por eso les decía.
¿Y por qué no se la bajaron?
Tú me dices, ¿por qué no le pones otro? Ya está, ¿no?
Pero no. Desde más acá. Desde más acá. ¿Lo puedes imprimir? Ah, no, porque entonces hay que editar.
¿Pero los tienes?
¿Qué datos?
Es que aparte no es por
Ok. Los jueces me acompañan de este lado.
Rodrigo.
Ahí. Aquí para que nos pegue bien la luz. Súper. Sí. Ok. ¿Listo? ¿Estamos en vivo ya? Ok. It will be in English because people in Dubai is watching us online. Okay, thank you so much to everyone. You did your best. I would like to Astrid say who's the winner.
Okay, so thank you very much for all your enthusiasm, and all the projects are very exciting and have a lot of potential. And we are very, very glad that you were here with us today, that you participated in all this process. And so just the first part is next time we see each other for the winner, will be in Dubai. So the winner that's going to pitch in the international competition in the annual president meeting is Lima.
Okay, let's have share.
So we can take the pictures and everything.
Nos gustaría tener nuestra emblemática foto de Startup México detrás de las letras. Y entonces, ¿qué tal que todos nos acomodemos? Por favor, detrás de estas letras de este lado, viendo hacia arriba.